What is an AI agent? If you're like me, I'm curious about it. I'm not extremely technical, and yet I still need to know what it is. It's in the news. Every time I go on Verge or Google News or even CNBC, it's there. Every executive is talking about it. You hear it in their quarterly result calls when they're talking about their profits and earnings. Every product upgrade has an AI agent factor. Some and most, do they even really need it? And of course, the saying, it's 2025, the year of the AI agents. But with all that being said and done, what are AI agents? And there's tons of different definitions. You see it from all the big player companies out there, here, and here. But sometimes, why can't it just be described ELI 5 style? Explain to me like I'm 5. That's all I want. And that's what we're going to try to accomplish here today in our short conversation. When you are thinking about AI agents, when we're going through this discussion, I want you to stop thinking about how they actually work. Like, what's under the hood? How are AI agents made? I know when I first started looking into AI agents and even Gen AI, I couldn't get the thought out of my head of how is this done? But once I started to realize that I don't know how a lot of computer applications excel, I don't know how that works. I don't know how a lot of IT things work, but I know how to use them. And that is, for a lot of us, even more important. So once I was able to move my mind away from wondering about the magic of AI agents, I started thinking about, okay, well, what is it in a way that I can understand it, have an intelligent conversation about it, and recognize how I can use it in my day-to-day. And so, with that in mind, here is where we're going to start. We're going to start with a completely non-technical explanation of what an AI agent is. Think of AI agents as workers who can make decisions and carry out tasks on their own without needing any instructions. They are provided an initial request and they get to work. So it's a worker. Think of an AI agent as a worker who can make the decisions in order to complete a task, just like you would work with a teammate almost. And that's how I started building my knowledge of an AI agent. I just started thinking about them as being a worker who can go complete a set task. I didn't think about the technology. I just thought about how I can utilize them and what clicks in my head when I see AI agents in the news every 2 seconds. So let's build on that explanation. Think of an AI agent as a digital worker who can make decisions and carry out tasks on their own without needing any step-by-step human instructions. They are provided the initial request and they get to work. Now, for you strong active listeners out there, I only changed about 4 words. They are digital workers and they don't need any step-by-step human instructions. All it is, the initial request, the AI agent can start thinking on its own and then complete that task. So you can go through that definition again. This is what we're going to build off of now. Think of AI agents as digital workers. That's it. Almost like a different, not even a technology, like a digital worker who you give direction to, and it goes and completes that task that you need to have done. If you can think about it that way, we're in a great spot. Again, even with this definition where the word digital pops up, it's still not technical. They're just virtual workers who can complete a task. Now you have this definition, now you're getting dangerous, right? Now you can have that conversation when people are bringing up AI agents, but let's go a little bit deeper. That's why you're here. So I'm going to provide you two examples. There is a little disclaimer. The two examples I'm about to give you are not AI agents in the strictest sense. But for me, I think they're great examples for everyday folks like you and I to get a feel for what AI agents are. So the first one is GPS. When we hop in our car, all we do is pick a route. And GPS will say, okay, you are going to go this way. Maybe they'll give you two other options to get to your destination. However, where GPS starts acting like an agent, the way our descriptions are so far, is that when there's traffic or faster routes that appear, it will provide you an option to go that way, or even just direct you to go that way without giving you an option. It's kind of like what an agent would do. It would have a set plan, make adjustments accordingly based off of the information that it has or the situation. It will make an adjustment. GPS, again, not in the strictest definition, but has that AI agent type of feel. You give it a direction or a task to do, aka get me to this place, and it will provide a route to get you to where you need to be and adjust based off of things that occur. That's one example. Let me give you another one we're familiar with. Again, same thing, not an AI agent in the strictest sense, but autopilot. When you are on an airplane, airplanes quite frequently are set to autopilot. They fly and adjust given whatever conditions they encounter without any type of pilot interference, as far as I know. So that is another version, kind of a set it and it moves and it adjusts based off of things that it encounters on its own without any human step-by-step instructions to make the adjustments. For me, going through a long laundry list of examples of what can help me think as an AI agent, GPS, autopilot. Those were the first two that came to my mind as somebody who's not super technical. So I hope you're feeling good. One quick line. Think of AI agents as a junior assistant, a virtual junior assistant. You could tell it to do a task. Hey, look, go make copies of these. And the junior assistant will go and make copies and bring them back to you. The virtual assistant will make copies and bring it back to you. Now, during that path, things may occur where they have to make adjustments, but they still go towards that task to complete it and bring you back the results that you're looking for. That's what we're thinking of with an AI agent. So I hope you get it so far. Now we're going to go into what makes AI agents really AI agents. So we have our nice definition. I'll pop it up here so that way we get a nice refresher. And these are the four categories that when you talk to somebody who knows about AI agents, they're going to be aware of these capabilities. So let's catch up to them a little bit. The four of them are autonomy, adaptability, goal-oriented, and proactive. Those are the four aspects of an AI agent that make it an AI agent. So when I was talking about GPS and autopilot, they're missing one or two of those features. You'll be able to tell which one of those features or so are missing after we're done chatting here for a few more minutes. So, major four features of an AI agent: autonomy, adaptability, goal-oriented, and proactive. Now, throwing the technology out, let's just look at these traits: autonomy, adaptability, goal-oriented, proactive. Aren't those traits that you would look for when you're hiring somebody to be a teammate of yours? If a teammate has those four traits, we're all set. That's a great starting point. That's what makes an AI agent, these four traits. So let's look into them. The first one is autonomy. If you give someone the autonomy to complete a project, what does that mean? It means that you give them the freedom to go complete it. You've given them the initial objective. And if you want to start using a technical term, you've given them the prompt or the instructions, directions. in order to show what you're looking for and what you want as a result. That individual, you're telling them the directions, okay, you have the autonomy to get whatever you need in order to get me that answer. They go and they do it. It is the same thing with an agent here. You are not seeing, you can, but you are not typically seeing all the areas that they are going to in order to get you your response or whatever you need completed. Now, just like a human, you can go ask them, how did you go get this? Tell me about your steps. You can do the same thing with an AI agent. But for all intents and purposes here, you've given them the autonomy to use whatever they need in order to go get what you need and bring it back to you. An agent can operate independently without needing continuous human instructions and interaction. So you tell it you want this, it can go and get it for you and bring it back. You don't need to tell any instructions along the way. At certain checkpoints, you do not need to. An AI agent is autonomous. It can take your input and go get that output and bring it back to you. Okay? Quick little reminder. I always like to take a pause right here. We still do not need to know why or how this happens. If we are not technical and we're just looking at how to use AI agents or be aware of AI agents, we don't need to know the technical aspects that are under the hood that we aren't interacting with. We just need to know its capabilities, its limitations, and ways that we can use it for our own improvements. Okay? Keep that in mind. We have autonomy down. Let's go over to adaptability. Keep a junior teammate in mind. That has also been super helpful. If you ever seen any of my trainings on generative AI, I call them interns. When you think of an AI agent, they're a little bit more specialized. They're a little bit sharper at times. So I like to call them junior teammates. So keeping a junior teammate in for adaptability. The junior teammate should be able to adjust when given new information or when things change. Let me paint a story for you. Let's say that you have one of your teammates arrange a meeting between you and somebody else. That other person who maybe initially accepted that meeting invite comes back to your junior teammate and says, hey, you know what? I can't do that time. Can you give me another availability slot? What that junior teammate will do, will look at when that person is available, as well as when you are available in order to meet at a time that works best for both of you. You didn't have to tell the junior teammate to go look at your schedule or their schedule. They were able to adjust. They were able to adapt to this new situation. This person asking for a rescheduling of time automatically. That's what's kind of cool about AI agents. The scenario that I just painted, you could replace junior teammate with the term or with an AI agent. Let's do that. Imagine that an AI agent schedules a meeting time between you and somebody else. That other person, after accepting, a couple days later says, you know what, I have to change my schedule. It notifies the AI agent that that time no longer works. Find another time that works best for both of you. That AI agent will look at the availability of that person's schedule as well as your own schedule and will find a time that works best for both of you automatically. They will change and adapt to the information that was given to them to find a way to get to that end result. Right? Same exact story. I'm just switching junior teammate with AI agent. An AI agent can adjust its response to new information, changing conditions, or unexpected situations. It is able to do that. It is very adaptable. We have autonomy, adaptable. I hope you're getting it. Let's go to our third one. Our third one that we had was goal-oriented. It's pretty direct. An AI agent focuses on achieving the specific outcome or completing the defined task. You've seen that. We've used that in many examples. Getting copies of something, rescheduling invites. There is a defined task that it is able to do. And that is what an AI agent is capable of. It's able to complete, in essence, the mission that you're giving it. I think that makes it pretty important. I can imagine that if it wasn't doing the right results with all these folks asking to have these things completed, we probably wouldn't hear about it all the time. And that's what's cool about these agents. They are goal-oriented, so they use their autonomy without having to get constant direction every step along the way to adapt to certain situations or new information that they encounter in order to get the results or the goal that you want back into your hands. That's a pretty important part. So, last one is proactive. This part, I think, is one of the most critical features that make an AI agent, and maybe the reason why some of our examples before weren't AI agents in the strictest sense. Proactive. Let me set the stage. With traditional tools, let's just use a computer oven. We're all familiar with generic computers and, of course, ovens. It only responds when it is triggered. The computer turns on when you push the button. The oven starts to preheat when you push the button. And then that's it, right? The computer starts going on. The oven starts heating up. There's no other ways for me to figure out how to start a computer. There's no other ways for the oven to figure out how to heat up faster. It only knows kind of that one way to do it. And so agents, they're a little bit different. They are able to actually remember previous situations or tasks that they've completed. And they are able to store that for improvements later. So agents are able to store memory of things that happened in the past and use that for improvements when asked to do something similar in the future. In essence, they learn. They are learning how to do things better, smarter, faster. Now, again, I'm going to stress, don't worry about the technical piece right now. We, as primarily probably non-technical folks or non-technical engineers, we don't need to know how it works. Once again, I do not know how, when I hit merge columns and rows together on Excel, I don't know how that actually happens. The same thing here. I just know that AI agents can do this, and this is how they think, and this is how they improve. At a pretty surface level, that is more than enough for me. So learning, proactive is in essence learning, the capacity to improve performance or decision-making over time by analyzing past experiences and outcomes. That's what makes it so impactful. That is a big key. So putting these four together here. AI agents can go and complete a task without constant intervention from humans given step-by-step instructions. Hey, this is what I want. It goes and gets it and brings it back. Adaptability. If during that process of going to retrieve information, a little hiccup occurs, or more information is provided that has to alter its route or end results, guess what? The AI agent can adapt, take that different information or that new information, and still go on its path towards getting you what you need and bringing it back to you. The third one, goal-oriented. It means that, guess what? It is set on finding you an answer. It is going to adapt to get you that answer and bring it back to you. Its whole focus is getting you their end results, and yeah, that's a pretty important piece. And the last part, the most interesting, at least in my opinion, is the proactive piece. The way it has the ability to learn from past experiences and information it's gathered to improve its speed, efficiency in retrieving information to you for the future. So it stores what it's learned and it figures out what was the best path and it remembers that. It makes adjustments to try to see what would be faster and bring back that information to you. It's really cool. Again, it's pretty wild when you think about it, but we're not here to think about under the hood. We're here to understand what AI agents for people like you and me. So when we go back to our definition, think of AI agents as digital workers who can make decisions and carry out tasks on their own without step-by-step human instructions. They are provided the initial requests, and then they get to work to go get you that answer. That is how you think of AI agents. That's all you need to know. You now know those 4 main areas. Awesome. You're ahead of the curve. You know how to use AI agents if they come up to you. Again, you don't have to worry about what's going on underneath in the technical world of things. Now, before I leave you, I did want to give you a definition that you can use to show off and probably make your boss a little proud. This is the definition. AI agents are computer programs designed to perform tasks independently by making decisions and taking actions. That is something that if you can take that definition with you, or even the original 2 that we talked about, any one of these 3, that makes our discussion here worthwhile. I hope it helps. We'll do some more on AI agents shortly. Thank you for joining. I'm Rich Bowers. Take care.